Hi, Joanna Rogister, Soul Alchemist. Today I'm going to talk to you about what it means to be a light worker and what are some of the signs that you are a light worker. There's a lot of change taking place in our planet, and a lot of light workers are coming to realize, if they didn't already, that they are actually light workers. But it's confusing because so often it's a challenge. We think that what we're going through, that we're all alone out there, and that what we're feeling, we don't understand. It's challenging to comprehend what's taking place, and I just want to share some information with you today about what it is to be a light worker, some of the signs that you are a light worker. And, full disclosure, I've taken this information, I can tell you it myself, but when I started to, make up my list of what I considered, how I saw light workers, I found some amazing websites. And so I just pulled some of their information out there, but it's, I'll take it and make it my own. Does that make sense? So this one is from the lawofattraction.com. So it's a great place. There's so many resources out there. So this is Speak Up and Empower, or this Real Talk. So Alchemy is part of Speak Up and Empower's online community, online web series of webcasts, or people that like to share their information and their knowledge and wisdom for those that are searching for more in their lives. So, it's all about sharing what you have when you're searching for more, because when you heal, I heal, and when I heal, you heal. So sharing the information helps all of us. And so, do I consider myself to be a light worker? Yes. What does it mean to be a light worker? And I think this is being a light worker means many different things, but light workers are typically they're people that feel that they have a global mission, a mission that's much bigger than them in this lifetime. And so does it mean global, and do I feel that I'm going to affect people on a global scale? I would say that, is it global scale? But, when we have those, 6 degrees or 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon, right? That when we affect one person, we affect so many people. And not only when we heal ourselves, we not only heal ourselves in the present, but we heal ourselves in the past, and we heal our ancestors. And not only do we heal our ancestors, but we also heal our descendants. And so that's really a beautiful thing if you think about it. But so doing any work on yourself, learning to love yourself more, understand yourself more, become more aware of yourself, will help you to heal yourself. And as the soul alchemist, that's what I really feel is a beautiful journey. It's a journey of transformation from where you are now into alignment with your soul purpose, becoming aware of your story, that story that you've created over your lifetime of living, being told who you are, what you are, being said things to, actions, etc., to unraveling that story and uncovering what your true soul purpose is. And when we come to recognize and appreciate and love ourselves, we get into alignment with that soul purpose, and then we can do the light work that we're meant to do. So yes, light workers have a bigger purpose in life on a global scale, and it may not appear global to you at first, but affecting one person can affect so many other people, as we all know. So they tend to, they're here to, but light workers, it's not only about having this global purpose, but they're also here to work on themselves, to fulfill their life purpose. Purpose says it's never that just one purpose that we're here for. So to have adventures, to understand humanity, to understand human emotions, to understand what it's like to be human and live on this absolutely amazing planet that we live on. So there's many purposes that we're here for, but there is a bigger purpose. And so it's about growth. It's about understanding, once again, human emotions. It's about ascending. It's about awakening. one of our biggest roles is to remember who we are, to remember that we are gods. And so, our mission to help others, that acts of service that we have for others, is on a large scale. But it's important to take out any ego out of it. Because if you're thinking, that it's, I'm going to be globally affecting people, and you're coming from a place of ego as opposed to a place of heart-centeredness, then that kind of changes everything, doesn't it? Because often when we're doing from a place of ego, it's because we need validation, external validation for what's taking place internally. And often that need for external validation is because we don't feel that we're enough ourselves, or that that we're good enough, or that we deserve. So it's a fine line to play, right, of being confident and having self-esteem and knowing that you have this bigger purpose, and that line of, I want people to recognize that. I want people to honor me or put me on a pedestal. There does always have to be balance in that if you're giving something out, that you're receiving something at the same time, right? We always want to come back to that place of homeostasis. So, there's a lot of, not a lot, but a lot of times as we're ascending, becoming aware of the gifts that we have, a lot of times people will think, it is a gift, so I should be giving it for free. But that is not, I don't agree with that at all. I think if we have gifts, then we can offer them to people that are going to recognize them. So often, that cliche, if you're giving it for free, it's not valued. And it's so true. So, there's that fine line, a borderline, right? Even in friendships, right? New friendships, people that I've had to release that, where they come to depend upon you. And I don't like that at all. I want people to learn to do it for themselves. But where people come to the point where they're going, well, what about this? What's happening here? Why is this happening? What do you see? All those things. And so, but in part, having that boundary and establishing the boundary of saying, that's something, if you want to come to me, we can talk about. But it's also, I push back and it's like, well, what do you see? What is there for you? But I don't want, well, it's never a friendship if I'm giving away all the time and people are counting on me to supply, because that's not a balanced friendship. That's me giving and them taking. So the more you give and don't ask for anything in return or expect anything in return, the more you will attract people that take. And there's also all kinds of health returns or health issues that can happen when we're giving. Often a lot of people with breast cancer are people that give a lot from their heart. And, no judgment, but just also, there's an example that you give, you attract people that take, but it also has a physical effect upon you. So light workers, they consistently have a very strong urge to help other people. And as you go through the process of ascending and becoming more aware and tapping into how you help people, you will have a greater appreciation for what you do and what your gifts are, a greater understanding of what your gifts are. But there is that real feeling of, there's so much more I can do. And once again, we have to find that fine balance between being pushed with, with those masculine traits of you must do, and being able, the more feminine traits of being in the flow of allowing. And, a lot of times that drive to do, hey, Bernie, that drive to do is more about an imbalance within you of, that you're not enough. So you have to keep doing more. You have to keep offering more. There's so many pieces there. So, come to that balance of, I am, it's also trusting the universe that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. So yes, I know I have this bigger purpose in life, but it's been a journey for me. And that journey has brought me to where I am now talking about this. But, a year ago, would I have been able to talk about this? No. Or, 5 years, 15 years ago? No way. It's such a different place to be. And, that desire to help other people, it's not also pushing onto them that feeling that, well, I need to help everyone. Because, so often people say things, but they really don't want to be helped. They want to continue to live in the place where they are right there. And, I think that's part of a light worker's role, right, is not to try and convince people that they need help. If they come and ask, then be more than willing to share that information. But, so often we think we need to fix people or help people, and that's not our role. We can help those that are searching for it. But once again, if they come looking for assistance, there has to be balance. So if they're asking and you're giving, then they're compensating you in some way with some form of energy. And so often that energy is money, compensation in some form. So, light workers tend to be people people turn to a lot. They turn to advice. So in a family group or a friend group, or even at work, if people are coming to you on a regular basis, then it is entirely possible that you are a light worker, because people are going to be drawn to you, and it's that natural energy that you give out of being a helper. But once again, it's finding that balance of how much you give and knowing that you deserve people to give back to you, or to appreciate you, or to compensate you for what you do. It's also considered, light workers are also typically very perceptive, and can often, recognize, read through people, can read people, will know that there's a dissonance, a disconnect between what they're saying and what their actions are. And I never forget, one of the very first times that I realized that I could read people in that way was a client was leaving my office, and I said, well, same time next week. And she went, no. Sorry, she didn't say no. She started to come up with these excuses, and I could just see the energy of her, that she needed to integrate more, and she needed to leave it for a couple of weeks. And I said, what are you not telling me? And she went, well, what? And I said, well, I could feel your whole energy drop there. I couldn't see anything. I just knew. Some people can see the energy, etc. But I just knew that that she did not want to come back. And I said, what are you not telling me? And she said, well, I don't want to come back next week. I want to come back in a couple of weeks. And it was like, well, that's fine, right? But it was very interesting. It was such a clear picture of the change in her energy, because she didn't want to tell me that she didn't want to come back the next week, that she needed a couple of weeks. So it's very interesting. But light workers can recognize that dissonance, that disconnect between the energy of what you're saying and your actions. And it's very fascinating to me when I hear people say things, and a word is almost like this neon sign is going off when people say a word or an expression. It's like, okay, pick up on that. What are they not saying, or what they're saying, etc. And very often light workers, people have perceived them to be as perceptive or empathetic from a very early age, but that's also not necessarily so. I know in my journey in this lifetime, it didn't start until, really in my early 40s. So it's been a progression since then. But that's what I needed in my lifetime. I needed to live this life. I needed to be married to the person that I was married to, so I could have the kids that I had, so that I would have, the variety of things why we were married, and taught me so much about me, and ended a karmic cycle and so many other things. So sometimes people that are light workers don't come into an awareness of being a light worker until later on in life. And I know for myself, I was so much existing and not thriving that I was not aware at all. And so light workers tend to be very empathetic, whether they feel energy, see energy, know what's going on, feel emotions, feel physical pain, so many different things. And, so empathy can feel different to every person, right? Because we all have different skills, and they manifest, or they reveal themselves in different ways. So, you may be feeling more energy. You may be feeling stuff in your body. You may be feeling stuff in your head. You may be getting more headaches. Headaches is very common right now, just FYI, with all the energy coming blasting to this planet. If you know anything about the Schumann index, there's a ton of energy coming down from solar flares. There's eclipses coming, so many different things. And these can have a very profound effect upon our body and resulting in headaches. So how do you deal with headaches like that? Is to get outside is one of the biggest things that you can do. Go out and hug a tree, feel that energy flow, get your feet on the grass and stand there, get outside, go for a walk. All of these things will help the energy to flow. Bernice is watching, and Bernice is amazing at massages and Reiki to get that energy flowing. So try something different. So there's different types of light workers, and I'm not going to go into detail about them all because it takes a fair amount of time, but there are gatekeepers, there are healers, messengers, seers, neutralizers, dreamers, adventurers, manifestors. And you can be multiple types. Like it's not like you can only be one type of light worker. You could have all of the abilities within you. I tend to see that the ones that are the gatekeepers, the very powerful gatekeepers, that is their greatest gift. They're capable of lots more, but gatekeepers are very powerful in their role as gatekeepers. So 7 signs that you could be a light worker. 1 is you're a healer in a variety of different forms, whether it's a doctor, a nurse, a Reiki practitioner, a homeopath, a nutritionist, a intuitive healer. There's so many different forms of healing that are available. But if you are a healer in some form, then it's likely you are a light worker. And it doesn't have to be with others either. You could have healed yourself, and maybe that was your greatest role, and then to be a way shower for other people. But another sign is that you trust in spiritual practices. So you do trust that Reiki works. You do trust that homeopathy works. You do trust that these natural therapies will actually bring about healing, that doing moon cycle work, that doing inner child work, that these things will help you come back to balance and help you to heal yourself. You could be a natural manifester. So it could be that you think about something and you manifest it in your life. And we're not talking just material things here, obviously. It's about healing people, right? It's about providing for others gifts. When I request or focus on abundance of health, wealth, and love, that abundance of wealth is so that I can live a life that I'm comfortable and don't have to worry about it. But it's also the more wealth I have, the more I can give to other people. And so that's really important too. And another sign that you're a light worker is that you're always seeking truth and a deeper meaning to things. And I really noticed a number of years ago, of course it was forced upon me, but that how important integrity in a person is, integrity in myself and integrity in those that I have around me. If you do not have an integrity, then I really don't want to spend time with you. It's just so important to understand your morals and your beliefs and to stick to them. And, we're not black and white about this, right? There's some things, but there is a line of what you consider to be, and I don't like right or wrong, because then that's judgment that you're doing something wrong. But there is a line in the sand about, the boundaries that you allow, the transgressions that you're okay with, right? Because not everyone is black and white. Not everyone can be, follow every single rule, etc. So it's defining what, maybe you're defining what your rules are, but having that line of integrity, especially in friendships, is what is so important. And so another sign is feeling close to nature. It's interesting for me. I've not avoided nature because I certainly feel more comfortable, and I know the more that I get out in nature, the better I feel. But I'm not one to say I have to get outside. and I have to feel. But more and more as time goes by and I evolve and I become more aware, I feel more when I'm outside, and I feel the energy flowing through me. You can get grounded, shield, everything like that when you're out in nature. And as I said, going up against a tree, either your spine to the tree or hugging a tree is very powerful because it helps the energy move. So getting out in nature will help that energy. We talked about headaches, allowing the energy to flow more smoothly. So the more, but you're drawn. A lot of light workers will say, I just have to get outside every day. I just didn't like the cold for so long. Another sign is that you probably feel that you're an outcast, or that you're different, that you're separate from others. And this is very common because so often we are, right? As light workers, we have this big purpose. So we're not we are in a process of fulfilling our life's work, but so often that life work is at a higher vibration. It's at a higher level. So we have to be at that higher level. And I'm not talking better than someone or lesser than someone. I'm talking just at a different level, higher vibration. And that comes about, being in gratitude and love and having those higher vibration energies. But that will set us apart. And especially as we grow and become more aware, we will often find ourselves as feeling lonely and feeling alone. And that is because, we're not comfortable dealing with the shallowness. We're not comfortable dealing with the day-to-day mundane, right? It can be comfortable, but it's not something that we wish to spend a great amount of time in. So we're drawn to deeper conversations. We're drawn to beautiful music, whatever that means to you. But so many things about being a light worker is you do feel separate from the crowd. So if you've always felt that way, it's entirely possible that you are a light worker. And the seventh sign that you're a light worker is sensitivity to the world around you. Things may seem more beautiful. You may see energy around things, but you probably walk through life going, oh, it's so beautiful, it's so beautiful. But you're sensitive to animals, you're sensitive to people, you're sensitive to the energy. You're just more sensitive about things. Once again, you can tell if there's a dissonance within people. Often, light workers are very good at telling if someone is lying, right? And to be able to discern that. And then that attracts people. When you have a high level integrity, a higher vibration, you are going to attract people that are at the same level, like-minded, higher vibration. And affirmations are a great way to do that. If you're a manifester, that's a great way to do it. So there's so many signs out there about, what type of light workers there are. And there's many different names for them, as we mentioned, like the gatekeepers and healers and messengers, seers, etc. But there's also like seed workers, and I can't even think of any of the other ones right now, but there's so many different names for light workers out there. But it is these attributes that you're probably feeling, the 7 that I just went through, that will help you come to understand yourself better and to know that you are not alone. If you are a light worker in many different ways that they are out there, it is feeling not alone can make you feel more powerful. If you don't understand what's going on within yourself, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, then it can be very disconcerting. And I know when I first started to get a lot of energy through me, I didn't understand it, and it would actually throw me into, a stress situation of fight or flight. And, that's not good for us either. It can cause lots of issues. So if you are a light worker, and you have been experiencing any of these things, then reach out. I'd love to talk and share more information, because there is so much to share, and there's so much work that can be done to understand yourself better, understand your gifts, and to release your story that you've carried with you that is preventing you from truly understanding what it means to be a light worker and to have that light to shine, to guide people. And with everything going on in the universe right now, light workers are being called forth to do the work that they came here to do. So once again, Joanna Rochester, Soul Alchemist. Soul alchemy is the journey of transformation of the soul. Glad it helped you, Sam. This journey of transformation of the soul is truly a beautiful one, but it's all about coming to be aware of your story right now and being able to release that story so you can step in alignment with your soul and truly love life and enjoy life and come to appreciate everything that's possible for you. So check it out. There's my website is soulalchemisthealing.com. I also have a YouTube channel, Joanna Rochester Soul Alchemist, and all my videos, webcasts, and previous are on there, and some extra ones that someday I'll get back into doing more of them again. But also my Instagram account is Soul Alchemist, and I'm going to start working on that again. So all these things, all these plans, but there's been so much transformation taking place over the last 6 months, a year, that I had a lot of things that I had to do and growth, and I allowed this time to step into more of who I am and understanding more so I can help more people. This has been part of Real Talk Soul Alchemy on Speak Up and Empower. We have conversations that change the way you see the world. Check us out, speakupandempower.com, or check out my websites, and as mentioned. So hope this was helpful to you. If you see yourself as a light worker, congratulations and thank you for doing the work. And we'll see you next Thursday at 12:30. Enjoy the long weekend here in Canada.